Two educational philosophers who have inspired my thinking about my own educational philosophy are Nell Noddings and Sir Ken Robinson. I believe that ultimately education is about our students and supporting their growth towards being happy, caring individuals who have successful learning outcomes and who are confident to be their best authentic selves and who strive to help others achieve the same goal. I agree with Noddings, who says that happiness should be an aim of education, and a good education should contribute significantly to personal and collective happiness. Noddings also talks about the importance of caring for our students, and this is something that I will strive for as a teacher. I will encourage open communication with students and families and show up for my students, listening receptively to what they need. I believe that when we genuinely care for and support students to be their true selves, we also help them on their way to happiness. Schools and classrooms should be a place of true inclusion, where all students feel seen, valued, celebrated, and normal. Our society is not homogenous. We are diverse. My students will all be different, and this heterogeneity will be valued and respected in my classroom. This aligns with Standards 1 and 4 of the Australian Professional Standards for Teachers. I believe that education should strive to ensure that all students can enjoy the opportunities that a good education can provide, which is supported by the Alice Springs Declaration goal that states the Australian education system promotes excellence and equity. To ensure that I don't unintentionally perpetuate disadvantage and mythical norms, I will be aware of my implicit biases and work to unlearn things that are unhelpful to my teaching and my students. Critically evaluating the content I teach in the formal curriculum and the texts I use will help me form a balance between traditional and transformative texts to ensure that my power as a teacher values and includes my diverse students. I will ask the questions: does this leave anyone out? What stereotypes are evident or hidden in this? Who will benefit from this information? Who feels like they belong and who doesn't? This will help to ensure that all the students have a voice and sense of belonging in my classroom. I will make sure that my students understand the concepts of post-structuralism and agents of socialization so they can become critical thinkers who can look beyond stereotypes to evaluate the world around them. Understanding that meanings are produced in context and that meanings are not fixed will help my students see mythical norms for what they are and help them become champions of inclusivity and social justice. Unfortunately, categories of difference can and do influence access to quality education and successful learning outcomes. Recognizing this will help me determine when some of my students may require additional help for their learning. Sir Ken Robinson is a philosopher whose ideas about creativity and progressive pedagogies has provoked my thinking about the role of the teacher in the classroom. I agree with Sir Ken that a core role of the teacher in the classroom is to facilitate learning. He compares teachers to gardeners when he says, "Gardeners know that they don't make plants grow. Plants grow themselves. The job of the gardener is to create the best conditions for that to happen." It's the same with teaching. Good teachers create the conditions for learning, and poor ones don't. He also talks of 4 main roles of teachers in the facilitation of learning, being to engage, enable, expect, and empower. He discusses pedagogical techniques used by various teachers, such as the flipped classroom, that evidence shows can improve engagement and learning. I will use creative approaches, linking content with students' prior knowledge, experiences, and beliefs, and the 4 E's in my classroom, as I firmly believe that when teachers have high expectations of students, provide engaging learning environments for diverse students, and enable and empower their students, then students will become more confident, capable, creative, passionate, and develop a love of lifelong learning that will enable them to be successful in life after school. I will strive to provide a safe, supportive, and caring learning environment where diversity and creativity are valued and all students have access to the education they deserve. As a teacher, through modelling and creative approaches to teaching, I hope that I will inspire my students to have a love of lifelong learning and be caring, happy people with good relationships, and to be critical thinkers who who value inclusivity and aspire to be drivers of social transformation and social justice to make the world a better place for themselves and for future generations.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.